stuff. So now, as y'all can see behind me, what we're gonna be talking about. But let me change it one time so you can get a clear view. Mm-hmm. What's happening, K Styles? What's happening, Zodiac? What's happening, Charmaine? Power Gen in this thing, you heard me? What's up? What's up? Alright. So now, y'all, everybody in this scene that y'all cool floating around on TikTok and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that the knowledge is starting to come out because now it just set me up to go ahead and dig deeper. You feel me? You know, had to drop a little breadcrumb way back in the day. So now everybody done caught us. So now we can dig deep into this thing now. Because like I always told y'all, these stories, these deities, these people, they're switched, they're inverted, their names change, timelines change. When you change the real story, you gotta change everything, man. You can't just, you feel me? You gotta change everything, leave a couple of truths there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how the best lies go. The best lies have the truth mixed into it. So now, with that being said, everybody know Yakub is Jacob. Now, Jacob is Yakub, Yakub is Jacob. Y'all remember earlier lives when I said that Yakub, you know what I'm saying? Thoth and all them kind of related and connected to. We ain't gonna do that this live. I just wanna refresh the memory real quick. But, you know, we gonna stay on Jacob and Yakub right now because a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that they was opening the book and when they was reading Jacob's story, they was reading Yakub's story. See, the letter J wasn't invented, so you have to put the Y there. So Jacob, take the J out, put the Y there, it becomes Yakub. And then go to the Israel or the Hebrew translation of Jacob, it will show you Yakub. Some is spelled with the QOV, some is just spelled with QO or QOC. So now, now the Americanized version, we spell it like this. But this right here is Mr. Yakub and his human breeding site. So now I want y'all to really look at this map. Now, I done brought another map to y'all. Y'all remember that Fatherland Noah map? Hey, shout out to that. Got another one for you biblically. So now check this out real quick. The breeding sites. Look at the breeding sites real good while I catch up in the comments. What's happening, David? Glad you could tap in. What's happening, D's Truth in this thing? What's happening, Big Dog? What's happening, the net? Alright. So now, these breeding sites are some of the main areas of history that has happened and went down. Pay attention to where these dots are. Pay attention to where these dots are because we then went over every single dot since I joined my spiritual tribe and my fellow brothers and truth seekers on the platform. You feel me? We covered it. You know what I'm saying? We covered them. Of course, you got the Yeti. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got Cape Verde. Cape Verde. Y'all remember. Okay, you got Portugal. Exile of the Jews and more. We're going to touch on it. Oh, check this out right here. Y'all already know what this is. Y'all already know what this is right here, man. Y'all already know what went down right here. We ain't even going to touch on it, but you know, shout out to the wild men and the grays and the dogs and everything that went down over there, the Trinitarian Empire. See, it's all starting to make sense. And it's all starting to click, you heard me? Trinitarian Empire was in Germany. It was in Germany. You need technology, advanced technology, to splice anything. Yakub went to Patmos for gene splicing and graphing and selective breeding. Shout out to eugenics, because eugenics is what? Selective breeding. Okay, so I wonder where they got the idea for selective breeding from eugenics. Okay, so now peep game. Take the emotions out of it because I'm going somewhere by the end of this live. Y'all eyes will be open. So now, Patmos, the Owl of Wight, Wight, creatures. Okay. Follow me? Okay. So now, Greece and the ancient Romans are two different tribes and people. Greece, or the Greeks, are made up of the Anglo-Saxons who just change their names like they always do. They always change their names because they go by many names. Keep that in mind. Why do they go by many names? That's because their father who created them go by many names as well. So, oh yeah, Jacob had many names. See, this is what I'm saying, man. When people gotta see, when we wanna resort to like the Bible and biblical things and pull out scriptures and stuff like that to fit our narrative. See, one thing about me and many others, we don't care about our narrative. We care about the narrative. So Jacob had many names, y'all. He gang. Jacob had many names. Yaqub had many names. Yaqub and Jacob are the same. Who else had many names? Thoth had many names. Oh shit, hold on, wait a minute. Who else had many names? El had many names. Oh, Yahweh. Okay, so now when you talk about Jacob's ladder, or since we know who it is, we're gonna go ahead and plug in. See, tonight on this live, when I get to reading, I'm not using Jacob's name. I'm using the name, you feel me? Because it makes more sense when you read it. Trust me, I know. I done thumb through it and substitute the names. Y'all know how we substitute names on here and it sounds so much better. So we're going to check it out. So Jacob's ladder is really Yaqub's ladder. Yaqub's ladder was about him. We're going to read the story. We ain't going to do that. But I just want to say that. So now, with further ado, the first half of this live, we're going to talk about Yaqub's ladder. And then we're going to go ahead and transition to more stuff like that. We're going to connect dots. We're going to open up the eyes now to my fellow is real light or is Ra light, or, you know, IS means Isis, Ra. Okay, Ra, sun god, Isis, Ra god, light. So, you know what I'm saying, is Ra light, you know what I'm saying, Isis, Ra equals light, you know what I'm saying, the Holy Trinity and everything, but we're going to get into all that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get into that. Shout out to my daughter Isis, you feel me? Now you understand, you dig? So now with that being said, Israelite, y'all. Yaqub had his name changed to Israel. So Israelites. Who's the progenitor? Oh shit. Hold on before we get all in our feeling. Man, we ain't come from no Yaqub. That nigga was evil. He created. Whoa. Pull back. Ha. Hold your horses. Hey man, was he really evil? Or was he just following orders? Okay. He was just following orders is what I think. But now check this out though. Check this out. Yaqub changed his name, got his name changed to Israel by a hierarchy angel or mysterious angel that, you know what I'm saying, they haven't discovered yet, but we're going to trail down that. But check this out though. You know why? Now it makes sense why the children of Israel, children of Yaqub, we are the best inventors. We are the best alchemists. You feel me? We deal with frequencies. We deal with meditation, higher self, lower self, as above, so below, within, so is without. Swastika sign is ours. Numbers, mathematics. Okay. Invention is just in us, innovators. We innovators, highly influenced now. So now it makes total sense why the creation wants to be like the creator. This is why they can't help but to mimic us, walk like us, talk like us, rap like us, sing like us, dress like us, gang bang like us, get ratchet like us. They're just imitating the creator. Feel me? Now, like I said, those was orders. by the Canaanite god El to Yaqub to do what he do. But we're going to save that for later live. Let's go ahead and get into Yaqub's ladder real quick. Hey, let me catch up in the comments after I flip the page. Okay, first thing first, just in case a lot of, hold on, first thing first, I am tripping, excuse me y'all, I have to, yeah, get in the zone, auto zone, hit them commercial one time, hold on. For anybody who doubts it, Jacob, Hebrew, Yaakov, Arabic, Yaqub. Okay, so now, and also called Israel. Okay, so now we got that established. Jacob is Yaqub. Now, let's catch up in the comments real quick. Catch up in the comments. Isle of Wight, Isle of Man. There you go. More 69 alchemists, most definitely. Zeus, yo, Zeus. Izu, Izza. Esau. Hey, more 69 alchemists. You see how you just did Zeus is Zeus, and then you got ISSA. I'm about to connect a very special dot with that here in a minute because it's not pronounced how we think it's pronounced. See, we're going to touch on that, but keep that in mind though. Because I'm a little lost. We got you. What's happening, Brown Sugar? Glad you could tap in. Pump your brakes. I never heard of Yaqub. Who is Yaqub? You heard of Yaqub. His name is Jacob, the creator of the others. Yup. Good to see you in the gathering, most definitely. All right, so now, real quick, Jacob, Hebrew, Yaqub, Arabic, Yaqub, also called Israel, Hebrew, Yisrael. You feel me? Now, Hebrew patriarch, who was the grandson of Abraham, the son of Isaac and Rebekah. So that means that inside Rebekah's belly, it was Yaqub and Esau. Now. So now, in the traditional ancestors of the people of Israel, the stories about Yaqub in the Bible begins in Genesis. I told y'all I'm not using this. I'm using this right here. I'm using this word right here. I'm not using this. We're using this. Okay. Come on, man. Because if we're going to call Yahshua, then we got to call Yaqub. We got to keep the name what it is. We're going to call Yahweh, or Hawa, or however you want to pronounce the high great spirit. If we using it, just use it now when we read it. Just get into it. So now, Genesis 35:10. And God said unto him, thy name is Yaqub. Told you. I'm not using it. We already established what it is. So God said unto him, what God? Canaanite God El, Elohim. Okay, so now, and El said unto him, thy name is Yaqub. Thy name shall not be called anymore Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. Now, one more time, plug it in. Repetition is the father of learning. And El said unto him, thy name is Yaqub. Thy name shall not be called anymore Yaqub, but Israel. This is why you don't hear about Yaqub no more, because his name was changed to Israel. So now, his name is called Yaqub, but Israel should be thy name. And be called his name Israel. So now, okay. Got his name changed. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this verse, though. His name wasn't changed by El himself. His name was changed by a close Elohim angel who is the command of El, like the right hand, like one of the right hands. And the angel's name, it's literally Israel, but the letters is rearranged. We're gonna touch on that. Y'all already know I be deep diving. All right. Oh, where we at? Max, okay. So yes, continue. Okay, most definitely. Israel is my last name for a reason. Hey, that's a dope last name. Israel is my son's middle name. There we go. Solomon. Hey, I got a cousin named Solomon. Nah, it does that when I flip the back. So now, as well, here's something real quick before we get into it. So as well, Yaqub then served Laban for another 6 years, during which it's cut off on my end, hope y'all can see it, a large amount of property. He then set out with his wives and children to return to Palestine. On the way, Yaqub wrestled with a mysterious stranger, a divine being, who changed Yaqub's name to Israel. Yaqub then met and was reconciled with Esau and settled in Canaan. Yaqub had 13 children, 10 of whom were founders of the tribe of Israel. Yaqub had 13 children, 10 of whom were the founders of Israel. Leah bore him his only daughter, Dinah, and 6 sons, Reuben, Simeon, Levi. You feel me? Levi, who did not find a tribe, but was the ancestor of the Levites. I thought I silenced that. Okay. I gotta bring somebody on here real quick. Oh, we got somebody. Let's bring somebody in here. Who is Bible?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up?
So you reading what book is this?
It's no book. It's a bunch of references and sites and stuff that we connect dots. You can't get all information out of one book. You gotta put it together like a puzzle.
Got you. I mean, the Bible itself is a whole, it's a whole collection of puzzles, but I get what you're saying.
Right. So when you read the Bible, you instead of saying Jacob, his name is Yaqub. So the Bible is your source right there. So
Right there,
everything
yeah.
I'm reading is right there inside that book.
Right.
And the
And
Torah and other books like that of so and such.
exactly, the Tanakh and everything else, of course.
Right.
Um, But brother, I seem to be. It says Jacob had 13 sons, and 10 of them were founders of the tribes of Israel. That doesn't sound correct, brother.
I mean, of course, when you pull up these sites, of course it's not correct. This is why you got to dodge the hijack and then use everything. You can't take everything for face value. This is why you do deep research, and then when you get the knowledge, you plug it in. Just like how we don't use Jacob no more, we plug it in with Yaqub because we found out that Jacob and Yaqub is the same people. So as you read these texts, you can't read every word for word thinking that it's real because it's not, and we all know that. So the best lies is the ones with the truth mixed in.
Right.
Exactly. So if you know how many children he had, then just plug it in as I'm reading. I don't have time to keep plugging everything in. This is where you use common sense.
Right. Power Jin in the
That-
comment. He said Jacob had 12 sons and one daughter.
It's,
Do you agree with
how
that?
many did he really have? You tell us.
I mean, you tell me, brother. I'm just saying what Power Gen
You the
said.
guest. You the guest on my live, bro. You here saying everybody's wrong, so you drop the gems, enlighten us. If you know
All
it. We don't have
right.
time to be playing guessing games and mysteriousness now.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like getting straight to the point. Love that. All right, let's get straight to the point. First and foremost, Isaiah chapter 51, verse 16 in the King James. I mean, you can read it in any you know version of the Bible you want it, because to be honest with you, we have the original. We have the original text. So you don't even need to depend on any translation of any king.
Well, we know that the King James version is highly revised, so that's not
Of
original.
course.
But continue.
Of course, and I respect the King James. I bow to the
Okay.
King James, and I love the King James, but I'm not going to depend my entire salvation upon it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's an original version. We have copies of the original version. By the way, everyone who's listening, there's something called the Jewish Museum of New York. They have the original copies of the original
Yeah,
Bible.
we thumbed through that already in past lives. We all know what that is. I done already thumbed through that with the people.
Amen. Praise God. Praise the Most High. So let's get straight to the point, straight to the meat and potatoes, because we're living in the times where Elon Musk is creating moon. He's developing moon stations to get humanity to create cities on the moon. He's trying to go to Mars. People are discovering that Saturn has a some sort of a storm that's been on Saturn for like the last 40 years, the last 4 decades, and it actually has six sides to the actual hexagrammic storm that's happening, and in the middle of this, there seems to be some sort of a throne. This is kind of interesting because Revelation chapter 1 tells you where the seat, where the throne of Lucifer is. Not going to get into that Bible study, but it's connected to it. But the point is this: Isaiah 51, verse 16 tells you that in the last days, God is going to use the seed of man to plant the heavens and the earth, not just the earth. I know we're multiplying here on the earth. I know we're seeding the earth right now, but the Bible says the heavens and the earth, not just the earth. So I'm saying all that to say this, brother. We're going into the future. The world's not ending right now. Jesus isn't coming back for us at this moment in time, and people really need to wake up to what the prophets said, because the
Well, we
prophets.
don't. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, brother.
Oh well, I mean, technically, I feel like that if anybody think that a physical person named Jesus is coming back, then they totally mistaken. Because when you deal with spirituality and consciousness now, then you know that the Messiah and El and the gods, that's all spirit. That's energy. So they gonna work through his people.
Right.
That's the return. It's the consciousness, the God consciousness, not a physical person, and his name is not Jesus either.
Oh, of course. Is not his name is
So
not Jesus.
we gotta use real names around here because people, if you keep using indoctrinated names, and that's the state of mind that people gonna be in. So once you know the truth, then speak the truth.
Okay, Curly in the comment section says Jesus means justice.
Says who? So you gotta show that. You gotta show and prove that because Jesus mean hell Zeus or Jesus if
Hmm.
people want to be technical, and that's also Serapis as well. So I don't know where Jesus means justice from.
Okay. Can I ask you a question real quick about Melchizedek? Who was he?
Who?
Melchizedek?
Melchizedek? I never
Yes,
heard
sir.
of him. Go ahead and enlighten the people.
Oh, Melchizedek is talked about in the book of Hebrews, chapter 7. He's talked about in the Old Testament. I believe he's talked about in what was it? The book of Numbers. It's where he met Moses before, because you guys got to remember, um, Melchizedek was the king of Salem, according to the Bible. And Salem was a land that existed before Jerusalem. Salem existed before Jerusalem. Because remember, Jerusalem has the word Salem in it. And so this was the king of Jerusalem before Jerusalem was even
Alam.
on the Salem. So people really need to pay attention to who this king was, because the Bible in Hebrews chapter 7, it tells you that Melchizedek was never born, nor did he ever pass away, nor did he have any mother, nor did he have any father, but was made like the Son of God. It's an interesting thing. Very, very interesting Bible study. Just wanted to know if you knew about him, and where that fit into your perspective, brother. That's all I wanted to know real quick. But mhm.
I mean, right now, it don't sit in my perspective right now because that's not the topic of the night.
Okay, no, not a problem, brother. You never heard about him before. It's all good. It's all good. We all growing. But tonight's what is tonight's topic?
Okay, so now tonight's topic, like I said, is Jacob and Yakub, if people were listening. So now we're gonna stay on topic, people. So now with that being said, if you know how many children Yakub had, just plug it in. We're just gonna keep reading. So with that, so now his 6 sons was Reuben, Simeon, Levi, who did not find a tribe, but was the ancestor of the Levites. Judah from the tribe from whom a tribe and the Davidic monarch were descended from. Yes, Judah. Yakub. It's dope. So now we're gonna go ahead and flip it now. Man, look, bro. And there's the hook. Hey, man, look, bro. Folk be tripping, man. Hey, us heading in, guys, son. Glad you could join. About time, yeah. I just try to get everybody a equal fight. When people think Jesus is coming back, actually, it's justice coming back. Now, curly artists, I can contest to that. You know what I'm saying? But just that the name that you're using, but that what you're saying, I can contest to that. You know what I'm saying? So, right, most definitely. Y'all already know how the distractions is. They miss me. It's cool. So now, continue on with the story about Yakub's ladder. Got to start from the beginning of birth. So now the story about Yakub's birth and his acquisition of the birthright in Genesis provide a thinly veiled apology for the relation between Edom, Esau, and Israel, Yakub's children, in the Davidic times. Edom, the older nation, was made subject by Israel by David and Samuel. The Yakub story assumed and emphasized that all things occurred by divine design. Ya, as above, so below. Uh, Hermetics, alchemy, spirituality. Y'all like, okay, so now Yakub's story assumed and emphasized that all things occur by divine design. The divine objective of the overriding significance. It is God's will that Edom, shall live in the desert and be subject to Israel. Okay, now we're gonna keep going. Okay, so now the latter given by Sariel, y'all see it right here, Sariel, Sariel. All my smart people, this is where you get the name Israel from, because the mysterious person that they were saying is the command of God, or the command of El, was his angel named Sariel, which is where you get the name Israel from. You see how it rhymes, Sariel, Israel, because it's the same thing. The letters just got rearranged. So now, with that being said, the ladder is the age, and the 12 steps are the periods into which the ages is divided. The same division we find in 2 Barun. The 24 human busts are the kings of the world who oppose Israel. Some more, some less. The fourth step may be the author's picture of his own time. In the last times, the Lord will rise a descendant of Esau, probably the Roman Empire. Where are we at right now? What the government look like right now? Who got the power right now? Okay, keep up with me. So now, with that being said, who initially will protect Israel? Questionable. And later will serve the idols and use violence. The people of Yaqub will be exiled, made slaves, and wounded. Okay, man, we're gonna rewind that back. The people of Yaqub will be exiled. The exile of the Jews and Moors, the exile of the American Indians on the Trail of Tears, the exile of some more Jews and Moors in Germany, the exile of the American Indians in the West Indies. You know, it was a whole bunch of exiling going on of copper-skinned people around the world. I'm just saying. America's the real old world. So now I'm just saying, in chapter 6 is about the coming of the Messiah, described as a king who fights against the enemies of Israel and wins. The enemies then repent and the Lord accepts their plea. In the following events, the Lord acts directly. There will be earthquakes and destructions, followed by the final victory against the Leviathan, sea serpent, sea serpent, also known as Satan, adversary, enemy, sea serpent, sea dragon, reptilians, reptoids, the bad Anunnaki. Yeah, man, we're going to keep going. So now, in the Falcon, the sons of Jacob will walk in the Lord's justice, and the kingdoms of Edom and Moab will be destroyed. Who is Moab? Come on, man. Who is Moab, dog? Look, man, these people got help. These people got help. These people ain't do it by themselves. These folks didn't enslave you by themselves, man. They ain't do this shit by themselves, man. Who is Moab, bro? Who is Moab? Moabites. Come on, man. Who's Moab, bro? Come on, man. Who's some of the biggest agents on these platforms? Say it with me. Pan-Africans. Okay, so now with that being said, man. Dog. Look, man, what have I told y'all all these lives? I feel like Edom and some of the Moors then clicked up. Then we read books and we researched that the Confederacy had one of our brothers from the tribe. They flipped. Then you had the Moors and the Canaanites. They flipped. And then you had Esau and Edom. Then you had tribe of Japhet. Then, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much the kings of the world who oppose Israel, some more, Edom and Moabites, some less. Everybody else who ain't really tripping for real. You know what I'm saying? But the some more is tribe of Japhet, which is your wild men and your Anglo-Saxons and your WIGHT folk. And then you got the Edom or the Edomites, which is your albino people, because they come out red too. You feel me? Because they come out red too. You feel me? Your albino folk. And then you got Japhet, Edom, Moab, because we just read Moab, aka Moabites. That's why you gotta watch some of them. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know what I'm saying? Because some of them fuck with us, some of us don't. It's that iffy thing. You like, I don't know, big dog. But yeah, so peak game, man. So now, One more time. The sons of Yaqub will walk in the Lord's justice, and the kingdoms of Edom and Moab will be destroyed. They all had a hand in our demise. Most definitely, these troops. Most definitely. The more, hey, hey, man, look. And you know what's crazy is that the Canaanite god El, who is, you know what I'm saying, one of the Elohims, the one that we, is later Yahweh. El is Yahweh. You want to know what's crazy? Is that Yaqub got all his instructions from El. Why? Because the Moabites start kicking it with the Gentiles. You see who they with, right? Edom and Moabite, right? See what I'm saying? They kicking it with the Gentiles. So El had to, yeah, man, come here, let me holler at you. All right, cool. Hey, check this out, man. Look. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and flip it real quick. All right, so now, everybody good? Y'all straight? All right, hold on. Hit my water real quick. Spring water. You feel me? All right. Go ahead and put that down. Hold on. Oh, we blazing. Paper planes. You feel me? Oh, we on paper planes tonight. I ain't doing no relos. But so now, according to the Old Testament, Yaqub was the younger twin brother of Esau. Can I show y'all some minds? What I'm about to show y'all, we're gonna come back to this. What I'm about to show y'all real quick about the name Esau. I'm not saying it's facts, so quote me. I'm not saying it's facts. But peep this out real quick. So now, Esau, Arabic romanized ISA is pronounced Isa, is a classical Arabic name and a translation of who? Okay, the name Isa is the name used for Jesus in the Quran. I wonder why. However, it is not the only translating. It is most commonly associated with Jesus as depicted in Islam and thus commonly used by Muslims. Isa. Who created Jesus again? Okay, we're gonna Romanized. All right, so now we're gonna go back to the story. That just puzzled me real quick. All right, so now, according to the Old Testament, Yaqub was the older twin brother of Esau. Twin brother. Ain't that something? Yes, Yaqub is a twin. Hmm. Who was the ancestor of Edom and the Edomites? The two are representative of two different grades of social order. Yaqub being a pastoralist and Esau a nomadic hunter. During her pregnancy, Rebecca was told by God, or Rebecca was told by El, that she would give birth to twins. Each of them would find a great nation. And Esau, the older, Dr. Hijack, would serve his younger brother. As it turns out, Yaqub, by means of an obliterate double depiction, managed to obtain his older brother's birthright from their father. Yaqub then fled his brother's wraths, and went to take refuge with the Armenian tribe of his ancestors at Haran. Now, let's get back to the comments real quick. Let's see. Just more side busters to give 50 feet. Y'all is not our L. You feel me? He is Canaanite. It's a stuttle twist of words. Yup. Ross all the same shit and never brought it out. Look, man, for real. Hey, when you start reading it, for real, after you like get the words and the vocabulary, man, look. So now, in Canaan, 1250, the Israelites entered Canaan, settling at first in the hill country and in the south. America's the real old world. The South. America's the real old world. The South. The hills, the South. Okay. The country in the South. The Israelites' infiltration was opposed by Canaanites, who continued to hold the stronger cities of the region. In the following century, Canaan suffered further invasion at the hands of the Philistines, who appeared to have come from Crete. They eventually established a coalition of 5 city-states of the southern coast of Canaan under the leadership of King David in 10th century. The Israelites were finally able to break the Philistines' power and at the same time to vanquish the native Canaanites, taking the city of Jerusalem. Therefore, Canaan became, for all practical purposes, I'm dead. You silly, bro. Y'all say gotta get it in, man. All right, here we go. The ladder of Yaqub is based on the biblical dream of Yaqub in Genesis, chapter 28, verse 11 and 19. In chapter 1 is an expansion of the narrative of Genesis. Yaqub falls asleep and sees a ladder set up on earth. To the top of it reaches to heaven with angels ascending and descending on it. Many details are added to the Genesis narrative. Emphasis on that. The ladder is made of 12 steps, and on each step there are 2 human forms. On each step there are 2 human forms, one on each side of the step, visible as far as their breasts. On the top of the ladder there was a face, quote unquote, as of a man, carved in the fire and much more terrifying than the 24 other busts. The Lord is over this central face. Chapter 2 includes a prayer by Yaqub, surely abbreviated by the Slavonic copyist, Slavics, asking the Lord the meaning of the vision. The prayer describes El sitting on a fire throne surrounded by cherubim and seraphim, a vision that is a classic example of. I'm gonna flip the page. Let me catch up in the comments real quick. Hey, boy, these folks out here be playing. Anyways, keep it rolling. He said, well, proper English is a curse. This ain't our language anyways. Bro, you ain't gotta correct ignorance. I don't even play with these people. Gotta keep the hook ready for the folk, man. Look, I don't play with these people, man. Folks, look, man, folks can call me illiterate all they want to. People don't even know I'm Creole, bro. I ain't even tripping on none of that. You know, if you feel like you can do a better job than me, bro, instead of using your profile to troll people, man, use your profile to do better than me. But until then, I appreciate your views, you from tapping in because you just, you push my shit up. So I understand there's a lot of haters and, a lot of mini me's out there who want to do what I can do, but they ain't got the heart to do it. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of courage. You know what I'm saying? A lot of book reading and stuff like that. I know books fear and scare people and stuff like that. So I don't really pay no attention to that. We just gonna block them and keep it going because, we ain't make it this far because we stupid. You feel me? So now with that being said, along his journey, Yaqub received a special revelation from El. El promised Yaqub lands and numerous offsprings that would prove to be blessings of the entire earth. Yaqub named the place where he received his vision Bethel, house of El, arriving at his uncle Laban's home in Haran. Yaqub fell in love with his cousin Rachel. Y'all know how that shit went back then, man. We ain't gonna go into all that, you know what I'm saying? Like 50th cousin. We ain't about to go into that. He worked for her father, Laban, for 7 years, indentured servitude. 7 years, get set free, land. They been doing this shit because you gotta think, man. Think. Y'all, before Israelites was Israelites and left Egypt, they was the children of Yaqub, period. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So now they were not in bondage or slavery, but they were indentured servants and servitudes, just like our ancestors were back then. Indentured servitudes, not slaves, because the Slavs were the slaves. The unfortunate thing is we both got whipped and beat and treated the same. So now, with that being, because by us breaking the covenant and stuff, the punishment was supposedly only supposed to be for 7 years, indentured servitude. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't learn our lesson. You keep repeating and woo. So now we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? But indentured servitude, technically, they wasn't supposed to harm us. See, like I read in the back in the previous ones, they actually were supposed to protect us technically and to keep us safe from the others who was trying to cause harm. But instead of doing so, they also broke their covenant on their end. Yes, the Canaanites and Edom, they had a covenant on their side, man. We're gonna have to dig and find that, but it was a covenant established on their side too. But we was supposed to be indentured servants, and they wasn't supposed to beat and kill us and treat us like dogs and shit like that. That's where that shit became null and void then, you know what I'm saying? And this is why then, instead of going through all those years and stuff, we start finding ways to not get exiled. We wasn't, they like to say that folks was exiled from Egypt and stuff like that, but no, they wasn't. Because if you remember the story, Moses went then and his people ran the fuck away. That was the whole point of the Pharaoh coming to capture them to bring them back. They wasn't exiled. They ran the fuck away from bondage and shit like that. And who parted the sea for them? Boom. Okay, so now with that being said, and it's the same thing with our stories and the stories that they try to paint too with roots and all that, and actual real stories of American Indian revolutions and stuff like that. Like, nigga, we always ran away. Like, nigga, hold on, bro. We gotta regroup type shit. Like, this ain't going down. Then we always regroup and we come back. And it's, man, y'all know how the stories go. Only now in this time, we not regrouping and coming back. We just like, you feel me? But shit about to change. So now with that being said, you just gotta remember how these stories go, because they always switch and flip it. And a lot of people, a lot of pastors who ain't never really read and dissect the books is spewing out crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever did, like, for an example, there's pastors out here still preaching that Eve ate an apple, and nowhere in no book or text did she eat an apple. It was a fruit, and the fruit wasn't actually a fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no fruit. You feel me? It was some fruit, because the Most High said, "Be fruitful and multiply," and she bit of the fruit of superfecundation twins. But we're gonna keep it rolling though. Y'all already know what it is. So now, he worked for her father Laban for 7 years to obtain Rachel's hand in marriage. So when you get your 7 years, back then when you get 7 years, you get a choice of what you want. You either get some land, some money, or whatever it was. He wanted Rachel. You know what I'm saying? She probably was fine and everything. I want your daughter. I don't know how I would feel as a father. You know what I'm saying? I want your daughter. Like, nah, bro. But you know what I'm saying? That's how they did it. So, he fell in love with his cousin Rachel. He worked for 7 years and to obtain Rachel's hand in marriage. But then Laban substitute his older daughter Leah for Rachel at the wedding ceremony. Unwittingly married to Leah. Stop. Pause. That means that Rachel and Leah were twins. He switched them at the weddings, and Yaqub unwittingly, means he didn't know, married Leah. And the only way that can happen if there were identical twins. There's a lot of twins inside these biblical stories, man. It's like, it's a lot of twins floating around here, but you know what I'm saying? You have enough kids like they did, that's bound to happen. But yeah, Rachel and Leah was twins. It's like Yaqub and Esau were twins. So now, with that being said, because he's unwillingly married to Leah, Yaqub was thus compelled to serve Laban for another 7 years. That sounds familiar, like they already did that to us before. They did. Okay, so nothing's new under the sun. So that could take his beloved Rachel as his other wife as well. So pretty much he'll have Leah and Rachel. That's what the story was with that. So, what y'all talking about in the comments? I see too many laughing faces in here. You're one of the best, bro. I appreciate that, David. Now, while we on the door, dude, spell check the Twitter. You feel me? Hey, look. They are paid to deceive the masses. They get in trouble to spread the truth, most definitely. Fruit of the loom. Hey, you feel me? Exactly. Hey. Yeah, it's going on the live. I'm gonna upload this one and the last live on the YouTube. So, folks get a 2-for-1 special. Hopefully it can hold y'all over, because I got to get in grind mode again. So, I just be popping in to drop stuff. So now we're gonna go ahead and flip it though. Okay, so real quick, because this is interesting. So Jews, Jewish, and Arabs share genetic link to ancient Canaanites. Studies find today's Jews, Jewish, Ashkenazi, and Arabs in Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and parts of Syria led half of their ancestry from Bronze Age Levanites who descended from a mix of local and migrants from Iran or the Caucasus. Ashkenazi, tribe of Japhet, Canaanite, Moab, Edom, Esau. All right, here we go. Just want to go ahead and drop that one in there. All right, so now we're gonna take it right here. Hold on, I gotta put the title on here real quick so we all know what it is. All right, so we're gonna take it here real quick. Oh, my lighter is done. All right, we're gonna take it here. So this is the Israelite conquest history or myth. We're gonna answer and we're gonna ask and answer this question. We're gonna see what it is tonight. So now, the Israelite conquest during the periods of Yahshua and this banner my way. Hope y'all can see it. So by Titus Michael Kennedy. We're gonna see what it is. Submitted in accordance with the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in the subject of Biblical Archaeology at the University of South Africa. Supervisor, professor, and everything. Woody woo woo. 2011. Let's go ahead and let's see what he discovered real quick. Let's see what he discovered and everything. Y'all good? Everybody straight? Red pill, blue pill. We good? All right, so now, chapter 1, the introduction. The era of the Israelite conquest of Canaan was the crossing of the Jordan and interest into the promised land until the end of the Judges period. Was a critically decisive time in history of the nation of Israel according to the books of Yahshua and Judges. Recorded by the book of Numbers is an instruction to Moses and the Israelites, which say, when you cross over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you and destroy all their figured stones and destroy all their molten images and demolish all their high places, and you possess of it. All right, so now pretty much it was a whole lot of debauchery going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Like they was just Sodom and Gomorrah and mixing it all up. Like just see, they like to paint the picture that the Israelites broke the covenant first. They cursed. Man, no, bruh. Oh, Ham, cursed one, bruh. Come on, Ham, bruh. Ham, cursed. Ham, Canaanite, man. Cursed one. You want to know why he was cursed? See, why they was too busy getting cursed, we was over here getting orders from the Most High on what to do. Man, there's a whole lot of Sodom, Gomorrah and stuff going on over there, man. A whole bunch of mixing and all that type of stuff that wasn't supposed to be. Man, these folks broke the covenant first. So, okay, so now check this out. What did the Most High tell them? Go over there, destroy it all graven images that we not supposed to have. Feel me? They just doing too much. And it's yours. It's yours. All right. So now, and you can live in it. For I have given the land to you to possess of it. Numbers chapter 33, verse 51. You feel me? The conquest, according to the ancient text of Deuteronomy, Yahshua, and Judges, was an attempt to drive out the Canaanites and establish a cohesive Israelite nation in the Promised Land. America's the real old world. Although, according to the book of Yahshua, many areas were conquered and taken in the initial attacks by Yahshua and the Israelites. See, Jesus doesn't have a chapter in the Bible, but Yahshua was most definitely in the Old Testament. You feel me? And he wasn't on no turn the other cheek side. You feel me? So I don't know where they get this turn the other cheek from. Peace, love, and light. Man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Look, check this out. So now. You can't go into battle talking about some peace and love and light. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So initial attacks by Yahshua and the Israelites continue to battle for control in the land against the Canaanites for centuries. In the beginning of the book, Judges commenting on the periods at the end of Yahshua's command, the text lists off the many places that the Israelites were not able to conquer. These cities and areas include Beth Shin, Tanakh, Dor, Eblim, Gezer, Catron, Akko, Akko. That's interesting. I got that in here too. I'm glad I seen that. You know what I'm saying? And Habib, and they got all the other places that, you know what I'm saying, we can get, mountains of Hirs and all them, in the lowland coastal plains around the Gaza. Yeah. And it says, thus now until the monarchy period is the land completely conquered. And even then, the Philistines had to be dealt with. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I knew I had it right here. Canaan refers sometimes to an area encompassing all of Palestine and Syria, sometimes only to the land west of the Jordan River, and sometimes just to a strip of the coastal land of Acre or Echo northward. I knew I had that in there. So, yeah, Israelites didn't conquer that. The Israelites occupied and conquered Palestine or Canaan beginning in the late second millennium BC or perhaps earlier. And the Bible justifies such occupation by identifying Canaan with the promised land and the land promised to the Israels by El. All right. So I had to get that out because I knew I seen that. So now emergence and settlement of the Israelites began in the early Iron Age. The Iron Age. The Iron Age, y'all. Come on, man. This shit wasn't that long ago. I'm gonna keep saying it. We know the Gregorian calendar fucked up and it ain't right, man. The Iron Age, shit wasn't that long ago. So now, as early as the Iron Age, for those who do take the Israelite conquest narratives as a reliable history according to the literal chronological reading, this era of continual conquest lasted approximately 350 years. Huh. That's a little close to 400 years, ain't it? All right. Another historical view which asserts a fugitive reading of the chronological data suggests this time period was much shorter, less than 200 years. Which one is it? The alternative hypothesis asserts that no Israelites conquest occurred, and other various explanations of the textual and archaeological data from late Bronze Age and Iron Canaan in the origins of the narratives in the books of Yahshua and Judges. The books of Yahshua and Judges may appear to be written in the historical genre because names of real places mentioned, names and people are mentioned. Because names of real people and places were mentioned. Events were arranged in chronological order. The content is mostly about battles and land grants. Battles and land grants. Now it came about. Phrase claiming The following events took place, Yahshua and Judges. However, following in the tradition of North and Fritz, many current scholars propose that the conquest narratives of Yahshua and Judges are not actual history, but invented history, and from which later period they are important theologically, but not historically. We're gonna dive deeper into that. That's a nice little hypothesis because the books of Yahshua and Judges mention specific locatable regions and cities, mention specific events at these places, and gave a chronological framework. Some of the historical claims are scientifically testable through an analysis of archaeological data. I need some water. That was a mouthful. Hold on, golly. Hold on before y'all start. Hold on before you start saying facts. Now, this is somebody's idea, theologically. It's an idea. This is what they think. It's not enough evidence supporting. Peep game. Peep game. You got real people, real places, real events, but it didn't happen. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I ain't even about to twist my brain on that one. We already know what's up. The question to be researched, analyzed, and evaluated is whether or not the archaeological data from the canon agrees with an historical Israelite conquest, and if so, in which period or periods is this arrangement situated? If the books of Yahshua and Judges are to be read as historical records, a possible solution to apparent discrepancies between the books of Yahshua and Judges regarding the extent of the conquest of Canaan by the Israelites must be proposed. The book of Judges makes it very clear that certain tribes did not initially take possessions of some of the areas in Canaan. Judges chapter 1 verse 27. In the book of Yahshua, some of these same places are mentioned as being granted to certain tribes of Israel. For an example, the land of Manis, it's a little cut off on my end, hope y'all can see it at the bottom.